And hello everybody, welcome back to the video. Today we are back inside of Minecraft and we are going to be playing Border Parkour. This is a new map by It's Punk Pond. We played a couple of his maps before. Basically, I believe this map is kind of like Escape the Lava, where you have to run ahead of a border and once it catches up to you, you die, so you have to complete the map before then. We're going to just start on the default map with default difficulty for starters, and we'll see where it goes. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty much exactly what we're doing. Oh, I was looking at my thing. Oh, we're just like 400 blocks out. Okay. Okay, I shouldn't have been looking at that. I should have been focusing on the parkour, but I was curious how far out it was because I was noticing I couldn't see the sides of the border. But yeah, so it seems like this will maybe be a bit more difficult than the lava one was. I don't know. Maybe about the same. So far, it gives a really different feel. Like, everything's so much more open and just in general feels a bit larger, but at the same time, it feels like for the openness, the parkour's a bit small. So that's a bit just weird. I mean, maybe it's just this specific map. Maybe the other maps aren't like that, but yeah. I think this map would be totally fun to play multiplayer. I might have to like do another video on this with somebody else. That might be fun. But yeah. Whoops. Doesn't feel like... No, all my sounds are on. I always feel weird about music not playing at all when there's kind of like quiet moments going on. How far out is the border? Oh, it's there. It's just pretty far off. But yeah. Yeah, I really like the fact that like it's kind of a oh my goodness, I forgot the name of the map again. But the one where lava flows behind you and you have to run away from it. Like, that's an old map. So like, you know, it makes sense that based off the popularity of the map and how long it's been since that map was a thing, that we'd see maps. I finished. Let's go. I finished with a lot of time to spare. I think to make it a challenge, I'm gonna need to switch which difficulty I'm running off of. Looks like overall, like there are some things like in spectator mode, it's clear just how kind of barren everything is. Which isn't exactly my favorite. Like, I feel like there's some things that could be better. We're gonna go on hard for the next map. Let's go nether map. But it does seem like, based off the fact all the other maps next to this, that all these maps are gonna be the same style. This one doesn't feel quite like the last one did, with feeling too open. Probably just because of all the red. Like, I think red's a better color to make things not feel quite as open, whereas green feels more like vibrant, I guess. Which I guess would also make sense, especially for anyone that grew up in a bit of a flatter area. Maybe somebody that grew up in more of a forest wouldn't associate green as much with openness. I don't know if that'd be the case or not, but I would be curious. Okay, come on. It also might be specifically like the netherrack also that I associate with kind of an enclosed space, because, you know, it's in the nether, and maybe because of the plains biome, that's part of why kind of the more grassy plains look. It's more associated with an open field, but I don't know. It's not important. But I do find it interesting, because that also explains why even with some of the changes made to the nether, like, even in areas that are more open in the nether wasteland, they still feel pretty enclosed. Since it seems as though I tend to associate the netherrack more with stuff. Oh snap, that's catching up real fast. If I fall again, I lose. I don't want to lose one. Okay. There we go. Staying alive for now. Don't know how long that'll last, but I would love to beat all of these maps first try. I think that would be cool. We'll see though. Okay, we got actual color involved. I'm kind of sad that the map creator didn't add more. I turned too soon. Like other colors for the flooring besides just plain netherrack, like whatever this stuff's called, like the Nyleo something. I don't remember what it's called. But yeah, if there's a bit more color on the floor, I think that'd be cool. Ooh, I gained some time on the last level, but I think I'm now at a position here where one more fall might be fatal. So I kind of have to focus up and not fall. I feel like hard's enough to give me a challenge for a first run. I don't think it would be too much of a challenge. Oh, wait, what? How do I get back up? What? There's no staircase back here. What? But... What? What? I guess I can get up here, but that's a little off. I guess because there's so many ways to get up here without going back, they just didn't bother to add a staircase. That feels a bit weird. Okay, cool. Couple Neos, finish it. I want to just take a quick look at all the maps. Yeah, all the other maps are maybe the same style. First two maps have been pretty fun though. I'm actually excited to play the last two. Plus this goes pretty quickly. I do think it's nice, like I don't know, I've really liked this style of parkour. Like some of the first maps I've gotten into, like I've talked about the fact that, you know, like Preston Plays was one of the first like parkour maps guide that I ever watched, really. And like the lava run map where you're running away from lava was like one of his most popular videos, and it was one of my favorites. So like I think it makes sense that I enjoy this sort of style. But yeah, I do think it's a bit harder to get back though. Like in the lava run map, it was a bit more like if you fell, you could pretty much immediately get back up with just a couple seconds, since you were pretty much always within a single jump of the green lines. Whereas this is much more open. Like I'm drawing a lot of comparisons because it's a really similar style of map, but ultimately it is its own map, and you know, there's no reason to expect it to be the same. Ooh, it's gaining on us. I gotta focus up, not miss any of these jumps. Okay, that's gonna kill me. That's gonna kill me. That's gonna kill. Oh, that's heartbreaking. The game is over. All players failed. Yeah. Doesn't annoy me. It feels like it takes a bit too long to get back to lobby. I'm sad I failed that. For the most part, I tend to do, I feel like, decent under pressure in parkour. Like, I find that a lot of times when I do need to clutch up in spots like that, it's not rare that I pull it off. There, I failed, obviously. But, like, on the nether level, there was a couple times where it's like, alright, this is the last shot. If I fall here, I lose. And I managed to clutch it from there. But, I think part of that's just that, I mentioned this before, but commentating and doing parkour at the same time can be difficult. Especially, like, if you're trying to do parkour fast while commentating. So as a result, sometimes it gets, you know, a bit difficult to do both at once. So then, like, for this, when the border's coming in, and I'm like, alright, and focus on the parkour for a couple seconds rather than commentating, it lets me do a bit better. So I guess what I'm saying is I would be curious to see, like, playing without recording or streaming or anything like that, if I'd have the same deal where I typically do better when I'm like having to focus at that last bit there. Um, if I'd still do better in kind of those last second clutch situations or not. Ooh, that's close. And this is a long one. So if I fall later in this, oh, okay, yeah, looks like this is my last try. I might fail this level again. That would stink. Looks like generally you want to avoid the slime blocks here. Like, the slime blocks are kind of a trap. Except for here, you have to take them. But besides that one spot, the slime blocks are pretty much completely a trap. But we have made it. We're still alive. Whew, that one was close. Come on, I need some ground. Need to make up some ground. Okay. Cool, we're good. We're back to the point where I can at least fail once without being guaranteed death. Don't know why I jumped there at that timing. Pistons, moving stuff with a moving border coming in behind us. This kind of stinks, not gonna lie. Oh no! Oh no! And all of the speed blocks are along the edge. I think that's the only thing I feel like needs fixed in this map, like in particular, is I do think that one sec, let me focus for just a second. I do think more of the ground should be speed blocks. Like, I get that kind of the default thought is just add them along the sides, in part because that's how, like, the original one did it. But I do think it would be better if most of the ground was speed blocks. Maybe you could, like, switch it every other if you wanted to not make it the whole thing. But with it only being part of it, like on the sides, for spots like that sand valley, it makes it... Alright, did I already do the ice one? Am I going crazy? I might have already done the ice one. No, none of this looks familiar. I have not done the ice one. Unless I have. Although this spot here's been a common theme across pretty much everyone. This sort of deal. And I'm already losing ground to it. Yeah, I don't think I've done this one. I seem to remember it was ice and end I had left. It's going to be really embarrassing if I have done this and I'm just not properly remembering it. But I don't remember any ice jumps. I feel like I would have complained about them if I did go across ice block jumps. I hate when that happens. Like, nothing's worse than when you start to fall and you just turn to go back to the start, but you end up catching yourself. So then, as a result, you then jump off because you're trying to go back to the start. And it just really stinks. I think the other thing I'd say about this map, so like this is a really cool map. I like the map. I'm not dissing the map, but a lot of the levels are really repetitive, like in terms of, you know, like the grasslands levels are similar to the nether levels, which are similar to the sand levels, which are similar to the winter levels. Like, it's part of why I'm having this bit of, I don't honestly know for sure whether or not I've done the winter stuff, because it's, you know, a lot of the same sort of style of things, just with slightly different jumps. So yeah, like, I think that so far, my opinion on the map, oh no, I'm gonna die here. Well, here goes my ice run. Come on, come on. Oh, I still have one last shot. I can do this. I can do this. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, cool. yeah, like I think ultimately I really like this map. Like there's a couple things about it that I feel like could be worked on, which for this sort of map, I think what you can do is give it an update rather than having to go just lessons for next time. It's something that you can update to make better as you go along. But I think there's just kind of a couple things that could be done slightly better. Like the whole speed block thing where it's like, you're stuck in this spot where do you go to the side to pick up the speed block or do you go here? Is this one of these where like you just kind of hold space? No, that won't work. I have to rapid fire tap it. Okay, I got this. No! I actually did have it! Oh, that's sad. I reached up for my nose too soon. Okay. I didn't jump off of that one. I overjumped the slime. Do I get another shot? I think I get another shot. I can do this. I can do this. Okay. Yes! Okay, cool. It's so stressful that I can't focus on my stuff about my talks about the map. Which is actually a good thing. It means the map's built well and engaging. Yeah, so like really the only two complaints I've had is the whole like not enough speed blocks and also it feels a bit repetitive in terms of parkour. But overall, I've really loved this map. And for anybody that, watches my parkour videos a lot, you guys would know that I am typically pretty cynical when it comes to, my ratings of these sort of maps. So, like, actually, overall, for, like, the maps I've played recently, I feel like I have a pretty positive opinion of this. I do think there should be staircases on both sides here, though. Like, it feels weird only having it on one side for this. Also, it's going to be really sad if I fall off of the first level and then section. Okay. At least it's not going to be the first level. So, yeah, and I've played some of these maps before. I'm going to be honest. Like, for some of these, it's been long enough since I've played one of the previous maps just because it takes a while to get more maps out. So as a result, for stuff like this, it only makes sense that, I'd possibly struggle to remember some of my comments on the previous maps. I'm pretty sure, though, if I remember properly, which I'll probably look it up after I finish this video so that I can be embarrassed if I was wrong. I'm pretty sure he's the guy that made the Wipeout maps, if I remember correctly, which those were fun. I remember having pretty negative talks about them at the time just because some of the randomness was annoying me. Although, the randomness in any map annoys me. That's one of the things that stinks about the way that I review maps, and I'll admit this, that this is a problem with the way I do it, and it's something that I'd like to fix. I just don't exactly know what would be the best way to go about fixing the way I talk about them. But, basically, I feel like I am overly harsh in a lot of maps, not because I'm trying to be mean to the map creators, because I dislike the maps. Like some of my favorite maps ever, like I watch the video back and I'm like, I was a little harsh on this map. But like it's just because in the moment when you're playing parkour maps, you notice a lot of the things the map creators did wrong and not necessarily all the things they did right, which can make it easy to be overly critical of them at the time of playing. So sometimes, even when I really enjoy a map and really appreciate the map creator, I can say it in a way where, like, the map creator thinks that I'm kind of being toxic, because to some degree I am. But, yeah. There's also some maps that, like, I have legitimately disliked, though. Like, I'm trying to remember the name of the one map that, like, I was pretty upfront about the fact I didn't like it in the video. And, you know, that's how things go. Sometimes you'll get maps that you don't like. And, you know, I want to be honest about what I think about the map. Because I don't want to be totally cheering on a map that I don't really like and don't think that anybody watching will enjoy. So I don't want people to, like, go, oh, he said this map was good, and, you know, it didn't actually look great, but, you know, maybe it's different playing it, and then, you know, go have a poor time playing a parkour map. Because part of the deal is, you know, one of my hopes would be that there's people that don't really play parkour maps that watch some of my content, they might be more interested in playing parkour maps because of my content. Oh, I messed that up. Ooh, ooh. Oh, I missed that. Focus. Focus. I can do this. I can save this. I can still save this. I can do it. No, I overjumped it. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Wait, it's still possible. It's still possible. Oh, wait, no, I actually can't make it up there. I could have jumped back. No, I couldn't have. That's it. I'm going to give this one more shot. I want to beat all the levels on hard. And maybe at some point, I'd be willing to play them on Nightmare, but that would require coming back to the map, and I don't really do that a lot for videos. Just too bad. If I came back to maps more, then I'd probably be able to, like, make more parkour videos and put a bit more emphasis of them on my channel. One thing I might be interested in doing is for some sort of maps that take longer, to stream playing maps more often. It's gonna be embarrassing if I fail this immediately. Like, kind of the difficulty with that is, like, I don't really love streaming on YouTube, and part of the reason is, like, my stream quality is kind of low, which doesn't translate over well to YouTube. I've also talked about some of the stuff about how, like, you know, just streaming on YouTube and Twitch are very different things, and Twitch feels a lot more welcoming to streamers than YouTube does. Even if it's not actually the case, it just kind of feels that way, which makes it seem easier to stream on Twitch. And just stuff like that. But, like, I don't know. I feel like it would be fun to stream some maps sometimes that I wouldn't normally be willing to play just because they take so long. Like, maybe adventure maps. Stuff like that. And actually, as a matter of fact, there was one, like, kind of adventure map sort of deal that I did for a live stream, and it's still one of my most popular live streams to this day on the channel. It did really well because it got into the, like, Google search term for the map. Like, whenever somebody looked up the map on Google, it would pop up, like, first thing. So most of the views were external from Google, which was kind of funny. But, yeah. Beastmaster was the map. That was not a good live stream, if I remember properly. Like, I didn't do a great job. But yeah, I've been really enjoying live streaming on Twitch. If any of you use Twitch, I don't know, follow me. It'd be pretty cool. It's linked on my YouTube, I think it's like about page or wherever that pops up when you add it as your channel link. Oh, it's like on the banner, I believe, that the Twitch link pops up on my YouTube page. But yeah, it's just Mitch on Itch on Twitch. Oh, this is the level I failed on. Yeah, I know I plug my Twitch quite a lot, but I have a much larger following on YouTube than I do on Twitch, so it's kind of nice to plug it sometimes. Okay, lots of Neos. Is that a... No. I thought that was a full double Neo for a second. It's just like, how am I supposed to ever convince anybody to ever play a map with me if there's full-on double neos in it. But no, that's not full double neo. I do kind of like the way that shulker box thing is set up, because like the fact that you have to jump over to it and then start jumping up. I like these better just because there's actually difficulty behind them compared to plain shulker box jumps where you kind of line it up beforehand. Overall on this map, I think this was a really fun map. This is the sort of map that also has actual replayability in it, which isn't normal for parkour maps. It is kind of like bland in the sense that, you know, the fact like you got this level right here. It's basically the same thing right here, and right here, and right here. It's the same sort of style for all four, and then only the first map was different. Like, as far as I can tell, it seems like he kind of finished the first map, then got the second map done, and then once he moved on to the third, he started taking a lot of the stuff he did in the first couple and kind of copying it over. Well, there's some, like, even first to second that this is fairly similar. So yeah, I'd say that's really the only weakness that this map suffers. But as I was saying, you know, I'm kind of critical of every map, but overall, I love this map. This is a great map. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you think the map looks interesting, I don't know, go play with friends or something. If you know, have those. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. God bless. Bye bye.